Welcome everybody. Well, you see, I have started this lecture without any whiteboard, and the reason is that we are going to look at accessibility, which is also one of the topics covered in LPIC 1 certification. And it's pretty simple. You just need to be aware of that historically speaking, Linux and as a matter of fact, any operating system that is based on the design that it would be used by normal persons without any physical disabilities. But if somebody has got some physical disabilities, then the operating systems have been evolved in a way that to some extent those disabilities can be taken care of. Like maybe somebody has got visual impairments, he cannot see small text, so we can make it larger by zooming in onto the text. Or maybe if he has got more severe problems but his hearing is good, then we can make the text to speech feature enabled. Or maybe even if his keyboard has got some issues, maybe he is unable to type on the keyboard, then we can give him a GUI based keyboard where he just needs to point to the letters so that they get typed automatically. So I'm here at the CentOS operating system, and let's have a look at some of the accessibility options that are in there. I've not logged into the system. I've just clicked on my username, which is Ahmed. I've not given the password. And if I bring in my mouse over here, this icon with a person with his legs and arms outstretched, if I click on this one, and this is the icon of accessibility. We see that it has got the option of high contrast. All the accessibility options are in disabled state or in off state. I can enable it by clicking on this button, which enables high contrast. There is no such significant difference that I can say, because these are not that kind of colors which can make much difference. So anyway, if we have got a different type of background, this option surely works. Similarly, I can zoom into the text by typing in or clicking on this option, and we see that now wherever my cursor is going, the screen is getting zoomed in. So now it makes it more clear to see now. So let's bring it back to its original position. Let's just disable this option. And the other option is large text. If I select this one, we see that text indeed has become large. Also there is option of screen reader that I just talked about. Now you cannot hear it but I can hear it. It is not possible. It is just a robotic voice where it says that welcome to Orca, and wherever you put your cursor, it just repeats the command. For example, I've just enabled it, and now I have listened that it is greeting me with welcome to Orca. And if I click on this wheel over here, so
choose session menu.
It is now saying that choose session menu. And if I come on to, it has now said that password text, where once it says that, it means that if a person who cannot say it, after hearing that password text, he would be able to type in the password. And if I come on here, it says that it is saying that it's an accessibility menu. So let's disable this option, because it is creating a lot of sound for me. And this is the screen keyboard option that I've just enabled. If I bring my mouse onto a place where I can type in the text, this keyboard appears in, and I can type in using this keyboard. So let's just remove the password and disable this option as well. What else is there? These are the visual alerts, which says that if there is any sound that is coming in and somebody has got a sound problem, maybe his sound card is not working, then not only that sound will come out, but also there will be a flash on the screen, so that is kind of notifying the person that an alert is there, so he would immediately come to know that there is something wrong. So we can turn that on as well. And these the sticky keys. It means that those keys like Control, Alt or Shift, which we need to press to keep pressing while to type in another character. For example, if you want to type capital R, we can type in by pressing Shift key and then R, so it will be typed capital. But the sticky keys, what it does is that once we enable it, then if I press shift and then I let it go, so that I kind of release the shift key, and then after that if I press R, it will still be typed in capital R. So it's like the keys kind of gets stuck. So it's easy for a person who cannot use two keys at the moment. He can turn on this option, which might help in certain situations. Then there is this option of slow keys, and this means that a person who has a tendency of typing in multiple keys at the same time because of some maybe disability, or maybe because of Parkinson disease, where he might not be able to press the letters correctly and he mistakenly keeps on typing or pressing the other keys as well besides the required one. So this slow key would mean that he would need to press the key for a longer period of time so that it gets registered. Then there is option of bounce keys, and it really means that if somebody has got tendency to hit multiple keystrokes at the same time, like multiple keys, maybe H, J, K at the same time, then those keys will not get registered. Then we have this option of mouse key, and what it means is that instead of using the mouse, our keypad arrow keys will emulate the functionalities of the mouse. These same options are also available in the system settings. If I get logged into the system, let's just try to log in. And once we are in, I click on this my username and into settings. And once the settings dialog box gets popped up, we go into this universal access option. And from here we can see that high contrast, this option is off. I've already talked about this is large text. Let's see if high contrast option works any different in here. So you see that the icons have changed now, and indeed the contrast has been changed, but let's bring it back. I do not like this color since I do not need this accessibility option. Similarly, large text, you see that it has become a bit large. We have already seen zoom, we have already covered screen reader, and this is if we mistakenly on the caps or num lock, so it will beep if we do that. Then these are related to hearing. If I turn this on, then let's just turn this on, and this is the test flash that I was talking about, that if there is a beep, then this, and there is a hearing problem or maybe sound problem because of the computer, then a flash should be there as well, and this will be kind of flash that we will see if we are not hearing the sound. So let's turn this one off. And these are related to typing that I've just talked about the sticky keys, the slow keys, and it also mentions over here the slow keys puts a delay between when a key is pressed and when it is accepted. So we can adjust the settings by changing the sensitivity of the delay. Similarly, this is bounce keys, which ignores fast duplicate key press, and this is enabled by keyboard. So this is also in the off state. We can enable it by turning it on. These are the accessibility features if we want to turn them on using the keyboard. Then this is pointing and clicking, and I mentioned that what are mouse keys. What is simulated secondary click? It means that if we are to press the secondary click or the right mouse button, if we are using the mouse with our right hand, then the right mouse button, it is used for like this for select, giving us the options. Then what it means is that if we do not have a right mouse button, or it is malfunctioning, then we can enable this option, and by enabling this option, it would mean that if we hold down the left mouse button for a longer period of time, then it will emulate as a secondary key. It is also mentioned over here. And likewise, we have hover click, where if we do not need to click on some icon, if we just hover it onto a menu, it will act by itself as if we have clicked it. So let's try to enable it, and let's see if it does open something. So I'm gonna bring my mouse on to applications, and let's see if it opens them up. So it does take a little bit of time, but it does work as it has been mentioned over here. Now these are the settings that we have seen in Red Hat based distribution. You can find more or less the same settings in Debian based distributions as well. So that's all there is to it as far as accessibility is concerned. I hope you have learned some of the options that are provided with accessibility and some of the uses that it provides for not so normal user of the computer.